Accesses first images of the two intruders inside Lok Sabha. One accused identified as 27-year-old Sagar Sharma. Second accused is 34-year-old Manoranjan from Mysuru. 6 in all. Two protesters who set off smoke canisters outside Parliament identified as Amol and Neelam. 6 accused planned Parliament breach, all detained. Politics peaks over Parliament breach. Congress demands Amit Shah's statement. TMC calls for BJP MP Pratap Simha's expulsion. BJP MP had issued visitors' passes to intruder Sagar. Mohan Yadav and Vishnu Dev Sai officially take charge as the Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh Chief Minister respectively. Prime Minister Modi leads BJP show of strength in the Hindi heartland. Eleven-year-old girl dies after long wait in Kerala Sabrimala temple queue. BJP protests against poor crowd management. Chief Minister Vijayan claims situation under control. Big breakthrough in Mahadev betting scam. Ravi Uppal and app promoter and key accused nabbed in Dubai. Enforcement watchdog begins deportation process. All right, the latest news break coming in at the back of the massive Parliament security breach. Security norms have now been upgraded. A full Parliament security to be reviewed is what we've been given to understand. Full body scanners to be placed at entry points. Multiple entry gates now to be set up. Visitor passes for former MPs and MPs' PAs have now been cancelled. These are immediate protocol that is going to be followed, but what we have been given to understand that a full Parliament security review will now be conducted and many more changes will be in the offing. These are just the current immediate changes that have been put in place. I want to cut across to my colleague Milan Sharma, who's joining us live from Parliament Street Police Station. Milan, what can you get us get us up to speed with the latest changes that have been announced? Many asking in terms of body scanners. Were there no full body scanners in Parliament till now?
Well, Preeti, there are metal detectors and there is a layer of security that one has to pass through to enter to the main gate of the Parliament. And of course, we all know that without a pass that is sanctioned by the Member of Parliament, nobody can enter this particular building. And with the new Parliament in place and major levels of security apparatus in place already, there are questions that are being asked as to how these people could conceal a coloured gas canister like that and take them along. And even while frisking is done by both women security personnel as well as male security personnel, now there's going to be a full-scale security review as to what went wrong inside. When we talk about the incident that happened outside, yes, there have been many attempts at protests or any sort of sloganeering that happens outside the Parliament. It is not unnatural, but something inside is a major security lapse to which, of course, the Parliament security as well as the police will have to answer. I'm at Parliamentary Street Police Station and the two accused who were, caught from outside, Neelam and Amol, have been taken into custody of the police over here and they are being interrogated. We have been told that, of course, the visitor gallery from where Sagar Sharma jumped onto the benches of the Lok Sabha there has been kept in the security area of the Parliament only, but the Intelligence Bureau officials as well as the Special Cell of Delhi Police along with the Delhi Police, Parliament Street, DCP, etc. are all into questioning and doing their investigations. We've also been told, Preeti, that there were 6 people. It was a pre-planned
Milan, would you take us through 6 people, pre-planned? Initial reports suggest that this was not, there's no terror angle to it, but clearly a massive breach of security. But are we getting any closer to understanding what led to these 6 people, to some of them outside, the others inside, to breach Parliament security? Do we have any reason in place as of now where these 6 people are concerned? Why did they do this?
Well, Absolutely. Preeti, that's a very pertinent question because we're looking at their profiles right now. You know, Neelam happens to be a farmer's daughter. She hails from Haryana. She's an educated class woman, okay? And we're also looking at Amol Shinde, who's also, educated. There were two more people. Sagar Sharma, of course, from his profile, we found out that he belongs to Lucknow. He's 12th pass. The other, the fourth person, Manoranjan, he happens to be a computer engineer. So it's not like they are not educated and, there was a terror angle involved. That is something that the police sources have made very clear. There was sort of sloganeering that was heard from their side as well, Tanashahi nahi chalegi, etc. But, the main motive of all these people coming together and doing this on, actually the anniversary of the Parliament attack is very, very crucial to understand. What was the kind of message that they were trying to send from inside the Parliament is also a big question that the police is currently investigating. We did hear Neelam say that she doesn't belong to any organization, she doesn't belong to any political party as such. She said it on record, and that is what begets the question that why did these six people, two of them who were staying in Gurugram in one of the apartments, and they all came from different states. One of them is from Haryana, as I mentioned, Neelam. Amol Shinde is from Maharashtra. One is from Mysuru. Sagar Sharma from Lucknow. So who are these people? Why did they come together and do this? This is all part of the investigation, and the motives behind their actions are being ascertained at the moment. Preeti, it's a very big question.
Just stay on with me. Milan, just stay on with me. I'm going to come right back. Also now, matter of investigation on who signed off on the parliamentary passes. Milan, a quick question there. A BJP MP, Mr. Sima, is the one who signed off, at least given to understand, on one of the parliament passes for those who were inside the visitors' gallery. But is he the same person who's a signatory on all six?
Well, Preeti, this is also the part of investigation because one of the passes that we have, access clearly show that the Mysuru BJP MP Pratap Simha's name has been written on the pass, and of course that was issued to Sagar, who was inside the parliament with the concealed, canister of, colored gas that he had carried along. It so happens that sometimes, these passes are also ascertained by the PA and the staff of, the member of parliament, and of course that clarification has already been given by the member of parliament in question to the speaker of Lok Sabha there in a clarification. That statement has already been given by him. We are yet to ascertain whether he was aware of the kind of motives of these people, because generally in a visitors gallery there are people who go to their respective MPs of the constituencies and they do request that they want to witness, go inside and witness the parliamentary proceedings. Of course, it's all done in a orderly protocoled fashion. But how were they allowed to take such things inside? We've also been told that there were no cell phones on these people. So how were they coordinating? Two of them outside and immediately, two of them inside. These are all the questions that are currently part of the investigation right now.
Just stay on with me, Milan. I just want to bring in Gaurav Sawant as well into this conversation. Gaurav, bringing back memories of 2001, the same day, 13th December. It's come a full circle. This time, fortunately, not what we saw in 2001, but the sheer fact that the parliament remains equally vulnerable.
It's extremely disappointing, especially for those, who've seen what happened in 2001 and reported on it. So much money has been spent on strengthening parliament security. There's a new parliament building, but clearly that security culture found wanting once again. At a time when there was a heightened alert, there was a terror alert because it's the anniversary or the 22nd anniversary of the parliament attack, but also because a Khalistani terrorist sitting in the United States of America, Gurpatwan Singh Pannu, had issued a threat that the parliament would be targeted, while in fine print they may say, through ballot and not bullet. But the actions that we've seen on ground very clearly indicate, despite that threat, despite everything, an intelligence alert being issued, clearly no action or little action taken on ground, that such elements were able to breach parliament security and carry that canister and dump it on the floor of the house and lives of our members of parliament. And we spoke to several MPs who said that their lives were at stake. They thought that they were staring at a certain death at a time when these miscreants were pulling off that canister, and that foul smell and those fumes came out of that canister. So all of this indicates that parliament security, while big money may have been spent, while a lot of equipment may have been put in, all of that was found wanting because of lack of security culture on ground, especially at a time when you should actually be outthinking what miscreants could be doing at a time like this. So while the speaker in Lok Sabha has ordered an overall security review, the opposition is up in arms when it comes to a massive security breach in parliament security, Preeti.
Gaurav, till now, we don't know what the motive of these 6 individuals are. While there was a Khalistani threat, but there is no link right now that has been established at all. Any indications coming in from your sources on what is it that what looks like a motley crew together? Because it's not a terror threat that's been established, a massive security breach, but what led to it?
So one, it's hugely embarrassing for the government. Two, this is a very well coordinated attempt or effort that went into it. All the individuals coming together, all the individuals' information is that they stayed at a particular location in Gurugram, got all the equipment together, these canisters were put together, then split into 2 groups. One group did not even carry a mobile phone because they didn't want the mobile phone to give away their location or give away their movement. So this also indicates planning. The fact that both the canisters were very similar, the one that went off inside Parliament and outside Parliament. The 4 had met, the 4 knew each other. All of this, of course, very preliminary information just as yet. But there is also some information coming in that one of the protesters, and this is of course subject to verification, had participated in certain agitations in the past, was a part of some agitations that had taken place. There are some leaders of that agitation who are now demanding the release of this particular individual. All of that is subject to verification and subject to more details being put out in public domain. So was this just to embarrass the government? Was this just to show a breach in security? Or is there something much bigger? All of that, we will have more clarity in perhaps the hours and days ahead.
Well, you're right there, Gaurav. At least one thing is understood, that this was a coordinated security breach. There might not be any terror angle to it, but what led to this coordination, who was behind it, what is the reason? We're going to continue to cut across to Gaurav Sawant as well as Milan, my colleague, getting us the very latest. Meanwhile, I just want to take you through on what happened, viewers. A big security breach in Lok Sabha on the anniversary of the 2001 Parliament attack. 2 accused, Sagar and Manoranjan, jumped into the well of the House and threw smoke canisters while proceedings were on.
Vaulting from table to table after leaping down from the visitor gallery, shouting slogans and releasing colored gas. A security scare inside the Lok Sabha on the 22nd anniversary of the terror attack on the old Parliament building. The breach occurred in the Parliament building inaugurated just 7 months ago. The intruders, armed with smoke canisters, made their way to the visitor gallery. They were subdued by MPs and on-duty staff. One identified as Sagar Sharma, who possessed a visitor pass issued in the name of the BJP MP from Mysuru, Pratap Simha. The other, a 35-year-old Mysuru engineer, Manoranjan D. India Today traced down Manoranjan's family.
ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವನು, ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ, ಸತ್ಯ. ಒಂದು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ತ್ಯಾಗ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅವನು ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದನ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳು ಓದೇ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಈ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನಗೆ.
Wednesday's security lapse drew several criticism from the lawmakers.
हम जो सावधानी जो बरतना चाहिए था, वो सावधानी हम नहीं बरतते हैं। हमारे जो पार्लियामेंट की सिक्योरिटी है सर, अपने जो सिक्योरिटी जो निहत्ते वो पुराने सदन को बचाने में सफल हुई थी, वो निहत्ते हमारे लोग आज कमी दिखाई दे रहे हैं सर।
Okay. On this day it's happening. It's very unfortunate that Indian Parliament has been attacked again. But 2 people jumped into the well with canisters in their hand which emitted a yellow smoke.
देखिए, जब ना पासवर्ड के लिए कोई रूल है, ना पास के लिए कोई रूल है, पासवर्ड पे एमपी एक्सपेल हो गए, अब पास में कहीं एमपी एक्सपेल ना हो जाए, मुझे इसकी फिक्र है।
The two intruders taken into custody and being questioned by multiple security agencies. But questions arise about the loopholes that allowed such an intrusion into the parliament. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, meanwhile, Parliament breach politics is peaking. Understandably, the opposition is now going to come together to corner the centre on what has been an unforgivable compromise of parliamentary security. India allies all are meeting tomorrow in Parliament at 10 a.m. The Congress and the India Alliance partners, the TMC, the Aam Aadmi Party, the DMK and JDU, RJD, all of these parties, NCP, coming together demanding a statement from the Home Minister Amit Shah. Trinamool Congress has demanded BJP MP Pratap Simha's expulsion. There has been a tweet by the TMC handle suggesting if Mahua Moitra can be expelled from Parliament at the back of breaching Parliament security, this is much bigger. Pratap Simha needs to be expelled at the earliest. On the other hand, there is a meeting at 10 a.m. tomorrow in the party president of the Congress, Mr. Kharge's room in Parliament to decide a strategy on how to take on a government and press further for a statement on what went wrong today. Meanwhile, we showed you what happened inside Parliament. Now let's tell you what's happened outside Parliament. The Lok Sabha witnessed shocking scenes. All of this on the anniversary of 2001 Parliament attack. While two people lobbed colour canisters inside the House, two others protested outside, setting off similar colour bombs. Take a look.
Two incidents that took place around the same time Wednesday have exposed the new Parliament House's security. While two people lobbed colour canisters inside the Lok Sabha, two others protested outside, setting off similar colour bombs and shouting slogans.
संसद भवन के ठीक बाहर इस वक्त नारेबाजी, दो लोग हैं, एक महिला है और एक पुरुष। ये अचानक से आते हैं संसद भवन के ठीक बाहर और कलर वाले जो पटाखे होते हैं उनको फोड़ने के बाद अचानक से नारेबाजी शुरू करते हैं।
जो हम पे ये अत्याचार हो रहे हैं, हम अपनी हकों की जो बात करते हैं, लाठीचार्ज करके हमको अंदर डाला किया जाता है, तो हमारे पास कोई माध्यम नहीं था।
डायरेक्ट वजह है, कोई वजह है, किसी संगठन से हैं आप?
नहीं, हम किसी संगठन से नहीं है, आम जनता है, स्टूडेंट है, हम छोटे भी।
The man and woman were detained by the police outside the Transport Bhavan near Parliament.
आप देखिए कि जो कलर स्मोक है उसका इस्तेमाल जिसका किया गया था, ये कलर स्मोक है और इसका इस्तेमाल करने के बाद आपको बता दें कि यहाँ पर काफी धुआं हो गया था। कई कलर के यहाँ पर धुएं का इस्तेमाल किया गया और आप तस्वीरों में देखिए सईद कि जो ट्रांसपोर्ट भवन के बाहर लोग मौजूद थे, दो लोग, एक महिला जिसका नाम नीलम था जो कि महाराष्ट्र से आई थी और जो दूसरा व्यक्ति था, वो व्यक्ति जो है उसने इस कलर स्मोक का इस्तेमाल किया और स्मोक का इस्तेमाल करने के बाद यहां पर पूरी तरीके से अफरा तफरी मच गई।
The two accused have been identified as 42-year-old Neelam from Hisar in Haryana and 25-year-old Amol Shinde from Latur in Maharashtra. The shocking security breach comes on the anniversary of the 2001 Parliament attack and only a few days after Khalistani terrorist Gurpatwant Singh Pannu had issued a threat to attack India's Parliament. The incidents today took place a few hours after members of Parliament had paid their homage to security personnel who had sacrificed their lives on that fateful day in 2001. With Amit Bhardwaj and Jitendra Bahadur at Parliament in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, we're going to continue to put the spotlight on this massive, unforgivable security breach in Parliament. On the other side, and to the point, do stay with us.
You are watching India Today.
sweeps the ITA 2023 awards. From Best English News Channel, India Today TV.
Popular English News Channel, the award goes to India Today.
To Best Hindi News Channel, Aaj Tak.
Popular Hindi News Channel, and the award goes to Aaj Tak.
And Best Documentary OTT from Best Talk Show.
Best Chat Show, Rajdeep Sardesai.
To Best Male Anchor.
The award goes to Rahul Kanwal, News Track.
And the ultimate ITA Scroll of Honor for Nari Shakti, exemplary leadership.
It gives me the greatest possible pleasure that Aaj Tak and India Today have once again been judged India's most popular channels at the ITA Awards. As someone who lives and breathes these channels, this honor is a real affirmation. Yes, there's a lot of pressure on us, and the pressure is yours. We always want to be bigger, better, faster, and more for you, our viewer.
Once again, the gold standard wins. Most trusted, most awarded. India Today, India's maximum channel.
We used to joke that during Corona, all of us became doctors. We learned so much about medicines. Now with the space missions, all of India, it's as if everybody is interested in the smallest detail that's going on. Does that put a pressure on you with a mission like Aditya L1, which is so difficult, even if we talk about international missions? Yani, I'll also translate my question. क्या इससे आदित्य L1 जैसे मिशन के साथ आपके ऊपर दबाव पड़ता है ज्यादा, क्योंकि दुनिया भर में ये एक बहुत बड़ा कारनामा होगा?
Yeah. It's no pressure at all, but always it gives us more responsibility. That nation is looking at us at every detail, so we should be more responsible and give more to the nation. And we are very happy that we could inculcate some scientific temperament in the younger generation watching the space missions. So that way we are happy with it gives us energy to do more and more missions and more laurels to the country.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
अचानक दो व्यक्ति अपने गैलरी से कूद पड़े। कूदे मतलब पहले वो आगे वाले पिलर को लटकते रहे, लटकने के बाद में कूद पड़े, एक के पीछे दूसरा भी कूदा। कूदने के बाद में दोनों ने बेंच के ऊपर से कूदना स्टार्ट कर दिया। एक बीच में आ गया, फिर तो उसने जूते उतारे। तब तक वो सोच रहा था किधर भागो, तो चारों तरफ से सांसद आ गए, जब पकड़ लिया उसको, दूसरे को भी पकड़ लिया, पीछे को भी। उसके बाद में अचानक गैस आना स्टार्ट हुआ, तो उसके जूते में क्या कहीं था मालूम नहीं था। येलो कलर का गैस है, थोड़ा सा बर्निंग हो रहा है नाक में उसके। तो वहां हम थे तो बाद में पकड़ लिया।
On this day it's happening. It's very, very unfortunate that Indian Parliament has been attacked again. But two people jumped into the well with canisters in their hand, which emitted a yellow smoke. Any slogans were raised? I do not know what they were raising in the melee. I didn't follow what they were saying, but they had canisters in their hand which was emitting yellow smoke.
What were they discussing, sir?
It was zero hour. People were standing up and saying whatever they wanted. They came rushing to the. They jumped from the well into the house and then rushing towards the chair.
पब्लिक गैलरी से दो लोग कूद गए और एकदम से धुआं जो है वो उठने लगा, अफरा तफरी मच गई, लेकिन उन दोनों लोगों को पकड़ लिया गया है। अभी फिलहाल जो पता चला है कोई एक का नाम जिसका मैंने पास देखा सिक्योरिटी ऑफिशियल्स के साथ, कोई सागर करके है और वो हमारे जो मैसूर के सांसद हैं माननीय प्रताप सिम्हा जी, उनके गेस्ट के रूप में हुआ है।
जहाँ मेरी सीट है उसके ऊपर गैलरी की तरफ से पहले एक कूदा, फिर दूसरा कूदा, और जो अंदर चलने की जगह होती है उसके बजाय 20 सीट से सीटों को ऊपर कर कूद के आ रहे थे। तो हम 7-8 MP उसकी तरफ भागे और जब उसको लगा कि घेर लिए तो एक ने उसमें से एक जूता निकाला और जूते में से कोई चीज निकाली और जैसे ही निकाल के उसने कोई चीज खोली तो धुआं निकलना शुरू हुआ। फिर हम लोगों ने पकड़ के उसकी पिटाई भी की, फिर सिक्योरिटी वाले भी आ गए, फिर उठाकर रख के लेके गए हैं। कुछ तानाशाही नहीं चलेगी, तानाशाही नहीं चलेगी, इस तरह का कुछ वो बोल रहा था।
Co-powered by PolicyBazaar.com. हर फैमिली होगी इंश्योर्ड। टाटा सफारी, reclaim your life.
Good evening, you're watching To The Point. I am Preeti Choudhary. What we saw today was a massive security breach. It happens on the anniversary of 13th December 2001 on what went down 22 years ago on an attack on the parliament. The visuals that you see are unforgivable and also point to larger questions on the loopholes in the new parliament building and how our parliament continues to be vulnerable 22 years on. We've gone through and told you exactly what happened today. Now let's get to those 6 people who were responsible for this security breach. Till now, what has been ruled out is a terror angle. What has been attributed is a massive security breach. But the fact is, 6 of them did come together in a coordinated fashion inside and outside Parliament to engineer this. One of them, Sagar, the intruder, who set off smoke canisters in the well of the House, was given a Parliament pass by BJP MP Pratap Simha. While the Congress is now demanding a statement from the Home Minister, the TMC has called for has said that this is an insider job, demanding Pratap Simha's expulsion as MP.
India's new parliament intruded by 2 men. The country's biggest security breach on the anniversary of the 2001 parliament attack. This issue of national security has predictably been hijacked by political point scoring. The India Alliance party staged a walkout in Rajya Sabha. The Congress is now demanding a statement from Home Minister Amit Shah.
कई दिनों से ये चर्चा में आई कि कोई आतंकवादी संगठन सदन में हमला करेगी और वो भी 13 दिसंबर को। यह जानकारी भी सरकार के पास थे और सबको जानकारी में रही, क्योंकि मीडिया वालों ने बार बार ये सारे मुद्दा उठाए थे। फिर भी इस तरह की चूक क्यों हुई, ये सबका सवाल है।
Congress party workers protested outside the residence of BJP MP Pratap Simha's residence in Mysuru. One of the intruders, Sagar Sharma, was carrying a visitor pass issued by the BJP MP.
वहां वो गए नहीं, उन्होंने बाकायदे बम फेंका, धुआं उड़ाया, पाउडर फेंका, जिससे भी धुआं निकला। तो सबसे बड़ा सवाल तो ये है कि राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा से जुड़ा हुआ मुद्दा है। वहां पर इस सरकार अगर संसद की हिफाजत नहीं कर सकती तो इस सरकार से देश की हिफाजत की उम्मीद क्या करें। हमें तो ऐसा लग रहा था कि आज जैसे पुलवामा का रिहर्सल कर रहे थे।
The TMC has called the Lok Sabha security breach an insider job, accusing the BJP of facilitating the attack. The party is also demanding the expulsion of MP Pratap Simha.
Our straight question is that you have expelled Mahua Moitra, national security compromised. What is Lok Sabha going to do, because national security has been compromised? Today there was a tremendous lapse because of these two people. So BJP MP who issued the pass has done a very irresponsible job and he needs to be expelled from parliament.
In the run-up to 2024, expect the parliament security breach to become a raging political issue. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's cut across right now to my colleague Milan, who's joining us with the very latest right now. Milan, will you take us through on the latest information that is trickling in? There is no terror angle till now, a massive, unforgivable security lapse, but the 6 of them did coordinate this inside, outside Parliament. Do we have any indication on what was the reason behind it? Who are these people? Why did they engineer this?
Well, Preeti, initially we had information about 2 of those people who orchestrated the activity outside and 2 inside, as we saw those visuals of them jumping into the well of Lok Sabha. Now the police sources have said that there are 6 of them involved, one of whom in whose house these people who came from various states were staying, and the other one also, the police is currently questioning the 5th and the 6th people as well, and the 6 of them who are involved actually have not really told the police whether they actually belong to a particular organization. Of course, the Delhi police sources have said that there seems to be no terror angle involved, in the sense that this was not a terrorism attack activity, but of course it's a massive security breach. They came in through a security pass that was issued to them through a BJP MP Pratap Simha, who's also being questioned and who's also put his statement forward to the Lok Sabha Speaker. But when you talk about the motive or the intention, now what my sources have said from the IB is that in their interrogation they have mentioned something like, we are tired of unemployment, we don't see any action being taken on the Manipur issue, we are upset about the way the country is functioning right now. So the police sources say these are some vague statements that are being put forward as motive from one of the accused who was questioned there. So Amol Shinde and Neelam, who hail from Maharashtra and Haryana respectively, have been placed into detention of the police at the Parliament Street police station where I am currently, and the other 2 are placed in detention of the Lok Sabha security as well as the police personnel. Now their questioning will go on for today because of course with the terror threat that was issued by Pannu, there seems to be no link to that as well, and therefore their motive is very unclear and vague is what the police sources are telling us right now. And that is why it's pertinent to understand, was this an optical exercise? Yes.
You know, even if it's an exercise in optics, what it has exposed are massive loopholes where the new parliament building is concerned. Already right now, the opposition flooding in terms of commentary on how they have been raising issues of security loopholes where the new parliament building comes into question. There have been some immediate reaction to that, which has been taken, immediate action, but a full review, I believe, is going to take place.
Yes, Preeti, certainly the parliament security has been put up for review because, of course, the way that the canister of that, colored bomb was taken inside and, it was opened and the entire, Lok Sabha new parliament building, that area was full of smoke. It was concealed in the shoe of one of the accused. So what were the, how were the metal detectors working? Can such things be detected by these, security apparatus, and whether shoes are checked for the people who enter the parliament premises? Because every layer there is a security mechanism in place, and frisking is done, checking of bags is also done. So how was it possible for them to enter with something like this inside the parliament premises is one of the big questions that is being raised, of course. And also this being, the 22nd anniversary of the parliament attack that happened in 2001. There was enough security in place. Questions also being raised on the intelligence inputs that were received by the police. Were they being taken seriously? And why was pertinent security not inside
Milan,
the parliament?
Thank you for joining us. We are getting in some news break that is just filtering in right now, where the man in question, the BJP MP who signed on the passes of at least one of the 6 intruders, if not all, the BJP MP Pratap Simha, who issued the pass to intruders, has now given a clarification to the Speaker Om Birla. That's the news that we are breaking right now. Sources have told us Pratap Simha met Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla in his chambers and briefed him about the accused. He's told the Lok Sabha Speaker that the accused in question, his father belongs to his constituency and was requesting for a visitor's pass to visit the new parliament building. That's the news break that's coming in. He said he was constantly in touch with his PA and his office so that he can visit parliament. He further informed the Lok Sabha Speaker that he had no additional information apart from this. That's the latest information that is coming in. Pratap Simha, who signed in on one of the intruders' parliament passes, the reason why he was in the visitors' gallery. Pratap Simha has told the Speaker that his father comes from the same constituency as him and was requesting for a visitor's pass, and therefore he relented. The opposition, on the other hand, viewers, is also going to come together tomorrow 10 a.m. to take on the government to issue a statement on this massive security lapse. Joining me is Lok Sabha MP Jyoti Mani from the Congress on the phone line. Jyoti Mani, you were today in Parliament and you saw whatever happened unfold. Can you take us through on what was your eyewitness account to it?
It was really shocking. Suddenly, when the 0 hour was on, suddenly some 2 guys jumped from the visitors gallery straight into the Lok Sabha, and they're just trying to reach to the well where speaker is there. So in between, the MPs and Marshal trying to catch hold of them, and indeed, actually, they were successful in it. By the time they used some kind of canister, I think there was yellow smoke everywhere. It was little bit suffocating for a while. Then once we come out, it got settled. If it is a normal gas, it's fine. If it's a poison one, or instead of this canister, they would have a weapon or a small pistol. We couldn't even imagine what would have been happened. There are not only MPs, there are 2-3 galleries also were full of people and parliament staff. We couldn't even imagine what would have happened. This is very, very serious security breach. Somebody has to take the responsibility. In my view, Prime Minister has to take the responsibility and resign. This is not a simple issue to let it go and move on.
Jyoti Mani, tomorrow 10 a.m., India Alliance parties are meeting at Mr. Kharge's office. There's going to be a strategy that is going to be discussed. Are you expecting a statement, or are you going to push for a statement from the Home Minister? What is going to be the opposition's plan of action tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely, we will not let this issue go up. This is a very serious security issue of not only Parliament in the nation, and also there is. I'd like to point out one more issue. You think about the old Parliament, difference between old Parliament and new Parliament. Old Parliament, nobody can jump like this from the visitors gallery, and also it's there are 3 different lobbies. Only first lobby has an access to media and PS of MPs and few visitors who can have the access to first lobby. From first lobby, the visitors go to straight visitor gallery. Then second lobby and third lobby has only access by the MPs and the Parliament staff. And also there is enough space. Something happened, really security breach. We all have enough space to come out very easily. And see about the new Parliament, there is no such lobbies. You first get into the security gate. There is a small hall. Every day there are 100 people sitting and talking. There is another small narrow security point. Then you go to Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. This is not the way a Parliament building can build. You are unnecessarily wasting 1,000 crore rupees, and it's only for luxurious things. It's not looking like a Parliament. You want to do something, you should do better than what you already have.
So Jyotimani, you're saying that the new Parliament building has loopholes, security loopholes that need to be plugged at the earliest. The other question I want to ask you, Jyotimani, while you were in Parliament today, did you see the presence of enough security officials? Because at least the visuals that we saw were of MPs trying to overpower the intruders.
Because there is nobody else, because we never know who are these guys, what they have. They have only smoke. What else? We can't simply let the guys do whatever they want. Also, we can't run out of the Parliament, right? Something has happened, we have to face. My colleague Guldeep Ahuja and Arvind Savanji and I think Hanuman Beniwal, all 3 of them actually went and catch hold of them. Otherwise, there is nobody else. Because that's really shocking to us. I don't think there is any panic button in the Parliament, whether we can press. We do not have any security detail when we get into the new Parliament. MPs were left alone to handle the situation on our own. That's even more shocking.
All right, Jyotimani, appreciate you joining us. Thank you there, Congress MP Lok Sabha. Jyotimani speaking with us on what really went down and what the plan of action for the India Alliance partners is tomorrow, 10 a.m. There's a meeting that is going to take place in Mr. Kharge's room in Parliament, and then a decisive plan on how to put the government on the mat on this massive security breach. A statement from the Home Minister is going to be demanded by the opposition tomorrow. Let's cut across right now to another MP, but this time from the Rajya Sabha, Raghav Chadha, Aam Aadmi Party MP, joins us. Mr. Chadha, appreciate you joining us. You were in Rajya Sabha, not in Lok Sabha, because this incident happened in Lok Sabha. Having said that, all of you we've seen have come out and actually said that this is not an incident, this was an accident, and now the government needs to be accountable for what has happened.
Look, first of all, this is not just a mere breach in security. This is an attack at the very heart of democracy. It is an attack at an institution that we call as the temple of our democracy, that is the Indian Parliament. Few very important questions, come to my mind, which are as follows. First, how did an intruder, under the guise of a visitor, carry such gas cans or spray cans up till the visitor gallery? As we all know, that in order to reach the visitor gallery, you have to go through 3 different layers of security checks. And not even a mobile phone or a simple pen is permitted to be carried up till the visitor gallery. So how did he manage to carry this? Point number 1. Point number 2, who was the member of parliament who facilitated the visitor pass for the alleged intruder? Because to gain access to the visitors gallery, you require a sitting MP's signature on your visitor pass. Who was this member of parliament? Question number 3, what is the role of this member of parliament? Was he also complicit in this whole breach? Was he part of the larger conspiracy? Was he in the know? And what action is being taken against the MP and against the intruder? These are certain questions that come to one's mind because, quite frankly, the Indian Parliament is by far one of the most secure places in the country. It was the anniversary of the 2001 terrorist attack. and we all paid our frolent tributes and Shraddhanjalis to the Jawans who laid their life in service of the nation earlier in the morning. Number two, there were high-level intelligence inputs of this being a 2001 attack anniversary, and certain terrorist groups from outside had also announced that they will try and target the Indian Parliament during the winter session. So therefore, there must have been beefed up security inside and outside the Parliament at that point in time. So despite that, ordinary people are able to breach the Parliament security is something that is a matter of grave concern. If the Indian Parliament is not secure, then what can be secure, or what part of India can be secured?
Mr. Chadha, you speak of the MP who signed in on the visitors' passes of at least one of the intruders. His name is Pratap Simha, you know that. He has now spoken with the Speaker of the House, and he has made it very clear that, the father of one of the intruders is from his constituency. In good faith, he signed in on a visitor's pass. That could happen to anyone, Mr. Chadha. It could even happen to you, where in good faith, where someone who has no criminal antecedents, you sign in on their visitor's pass. But having said that, what the BJP is also saying that this is an issue of national security, and maybe the opposition should come together instead of politicizing it.
Well, there is no doubt in my mind that this is a national security issue, and all of us stand shoulder to shoulder with the government. In fact, once the intruder jumped into the chamber, members of the opposition got hold of him, apprehended him, and stopped him from going towards the Honorable Speaker's chair. So therefore, all of us are together in this, and paramount importance is being given to India's national security. However, one certainly wishes and hopes and prays that the role of every person in this conspiracy is investigated. What are we saying? We are saying that he came to the visitors gallery, the alleged intruder, on the signature of a member of parliament from a particular party. His role needs to be examined and investigated. Our personal belief or assessment is that had this been a member of parliament from the opposition, he would have been booked, he would have been taken into police custody, he would have been perhaps even charged with, sections of the NSA Act, perhaps he would have been expelled. But I am not demanding any of this. I am saying at least investigate the role, at least question him, at least try and figure out was he part of the conspiracy before issuing clean chits to MPs merely because they are associated with the ruling party.
Mr. Chadha, tomorrow at 10 a.m., I believe there is a meeting of the India Alliance. I'm sure you're also going to be attending it. What is going to be the plan of action? What is it that you ask of the government at the back of today? Is it a statement that you want from the Home Minister? How are you tackling this issue?
Look, even today in Rajya Sabha, I was present, when the House resumed post-lunch. That is right after the unfortunate incident that happened in the Lok Sabha. All members of the non-treasury benches, that is the opposition, got together and requested the government to issue a response. In fact, the Minister of State for Home Affairs was sitting in the Rajya Sabha at that point in time. He was right across us, and we requested him to at least issue a statement to let us know what has happened, who is behind it, who was the member of parliament whose signatures were there on the visitors' pass, what was the intention behind the attack, and these are certain very important questions that beg an answer. So we requested the MOS Home. Unfortunately, he chose not to answer, and ultimately the opposition decided to walk out. So I am very sure that this is something that will be discussed in tomorrow morning's 10 a.m. meeting. I'll too be present, and we'll certainly urge the government to take all political parties in confidence, and this is a matter of India's parliament security. It is not a matter of one party or other or scoring political brownie points. All of us need to come together and resolve this issue. And, in conclusion, let me say this, that accountability needs to be fixed. Who is responsible for parliament security? How did this lapse happen? Under whose nose is all this happening? Who all are part of this conspiracy? Why did that MP sign that visitor pass? What was the intention of this group of people who breached the security? These are important questions that need to be answered.
Mr. Chadha, appreciate you joining us. Thank you. There tomorrow 10 a.m. is where the India Alliance meeting is going to take place in Mr. Kharge's room, and then a decisive action plan is going to be earmarked on how the opposition is going to corner the government on this security breach. But having said that, viewers, what happened today was stunning. Especially the irony of it, it comes exactly on the same date 22 years ago in 2001, 13th December, where the parliament attack had taken place. Today, what we saw wasn't a mirror image of what happened then, but the sheer fact of an image which goes on to suggest that our parliament, our temple of democracy, is as vulnerable as it was then. Thank you for joining us. Up next is Rahul Kamal.
We used to joke that during Corona, all of us became doctors. We learned so much about medicines. Now with the space missions, all of India, it's as if everybody is interested in the smallest detail that's going on. Does that put a pressure on you with a mission like Aditya L1, which is so difficult, even if we talk about international missions? Yani, I'll also translate my question. क्या इससे आदित्य L1 जैसे मिशन के साथ आपके ऊपर दबाव पड़ता है ज्यादा, क्योंकि दुनिया भर में ये एक बहुत बड़ा कारनामा होगा?
Yeah. It's no pressure at all, but always it gives us more responsibility. That nation is looking at us at every detail, so we should be more responsible and give more to the nation. And we are very happy that we could inculcate some scientific temperament in the younger generation watching the space missions. So that way we are happy with it gives us energy to do more and more missions and more laurels to the country.
कर सदन के अंदर उतर गए और हाथ में कुछ थी, उसे भारी भड़कम मतलब गैस निकलते थे और थोड़ा मतलब सदन के अंदर हमारे सारे एमपी जितने साथी हैं वो पकड़ लिए दोनों को, कोई सिक्योरिटी वाले नहीं, सारे एमपी उनको पकड़ लिए। तो उसके बाद सिक्योरिटी फोर्स भी उनको बाहर निकल गए थे, निकाले। लेकिन देखने की बात यह है कि आज सुबह हम सब मिलकर हमारी ये सदन की जो हमला हुई थी 2001 साल में, उन शहीदों को आज हम याद किए, पुष्पार्पण किए और आज ही नया सदन में इस तरीके की हमला हुई। हमला मतलब जो भी हो, लेकिन ये तो मुझे लगता है कि चूक तो है कहीं ना कहीं।
Sabarimala is one of the major pilgrim centers in India. And lakhs of pilgrims are coming from various parts of the world, even from the South Asia. There are large number of pilgrims are coming from the neighboring states and neighboring countries. But unfortunately, this time, the Chief Minister and the ministers are not in Trivandrum. They are in a tour for a political campaign for the continuous 44 days.
Sabarimala, one of the national pilgrim centers in the country, whereby lakhs and lakhs of pilgrims are every year visiting and worshipping that place. But this year, this season, it is quite unfortunate to say that no arrangement has been made by the state government. Such a precarious situation is prevailing there, and 18 to 20 hours and one girl aged about 8 years have died, standing in the queue and died. But still the state government is not taking any proactive action so as to protect the safety and security of the pilgrims.
मैं डॉक्टर मोहन यादव ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं मध्य प्रदेश के राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या देश के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा। मैं डॉक्टर मोहन यादव ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि जो विषय मध्य प्रदेश राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवाय जबकि ऐसे मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगा। बहुत धन्यवाद। उनसे मिलूँ आपसे प्रणाम करूँ। पीएम साहब को प्रणाम, पीएम साहब को धन्यवाद।
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 23 and minimum 12 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 28 and minimum 23 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 26 and minimum 15 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 26 and minimum 17 degrees. Chennai, maximum 27 and minimum 23 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 27 and minimum 16 degrees.
Kerala's public health. All political parties traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political back.
she takes the news by its horns.
You think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold, and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories. From every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Presented by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Growing Legacies. Co-presented by Century Laminates by Manish Malhotra, Fashion for your furniture.
Co-presented by
Macho Hind, Bade Aaram Se.
Co-presented by
New Kia Sonet, The Wild Reborn. Co-powered by PolicyBazaar.com. Har family hogi insured.
Good evening. There's been a massive security breach in Parliament, inside the Lok Sabha. On the 22nd anniversary of the deadliest attack on the Temple of Indian Democracy, two men sprayed coloured gas in Lok Sabha, jumping down from the visitors' gallery. Two more were detained outside, spraying the same coloured canister. Police say now, apparently there are two more involved in this security breach, and that is our top focus story. India's biggest security breach. New parliament intruded by two men. This was seconds from disaster. What if the two intruders carried a bomb? What if they carried firearms? New parliament, old negligence. Whose head should roll for this? That's our top focus on the news track. Delhi police now say, in all, prima facie it appears that 6 people were involved in this security breach. 4 have been taken into custody. There are 2 more still to be arrested, 1 yet to be identified. But the question that's being asked, why were the agencies asleep at the wheel? And what if the intruders either had an improvised explosive device, or what if they had poison gas? I'm Gaurav Sawant. We get you much more on this big story. But first, as always, the headlines on India Today. A full security review to be carried out in the new parliament building after today's security breach. Only members of parliament to be allowed entry from the main gate. Glass shield to be put in the visitors' gallery.